At the beginning of the film, we are shown how high school students are photographed for the graduation album. Everyone remembers the most fun moments related to their studies. Some are proud of their victories at sports competitions, others recall endless parties, and others simply warmly recall the time spent with friends. Only the main character can't remember anything really interesting, except for his approximate academic performance. Matthew holds the post of president of the school board, and while his peers were out walking and making new acquaintances, he was working hard to get into a prestigious university. The guy has two close friends who, like him, are not very popular at school. All three come to the prom. When Matthew comes to the microphone, he talks about the student exchange program. The school has managed to raise $25,000, and now a talented guy from Cambodia named Samnang will be able to come to America and become their classmate. After the meeting, the graduates decide to escape from lessons and have a party on the beach. For the first time, Matthew suggests to his friends that they skip classes and go with him, but they find reasons to refuse, and he himself does not dare to run away alone. Returning home, the guy notices an unfamiliar car parked at the neighboring house, but does not attach importance to this. Matthew has already enrolled at Georgetown, but it is expensive to study there, and there is only one free place left in his specialty. It can be obtained with the help of a convincing introductory speech. After going up to the room, the guy calls Eli and tells him about the new neighbor, who according to him is simply stunning. Going to the window, he sees how the girl starts to clean up and, opening her mouth, cannot look away. Suddenly, she notices that she's being watched. A few minutes later, the doorbell rings. Downstairs, Matthew sees his parents talking to a stranger. The girl's name is Danny, and she came from Los Angeles to look after her aunt's house, which is currently away. His parents ask Matthew to show his new neighbor the city. After driving away from the house, Danny suddenly stops the car and asks if he liked what he saw. The embarrassed guy starts to apologize, but the girl does not accept the apology. She forces him to get out of the car and leave his clothes on the road. After that, she steps on the gas and leaves him standing in the middle of the street. After a few taunts, Danny lets him get back in the car, and they drive to a cafe together. Shy Matthew asks her to tell him a little about herself. It turns out that the girl recently quit her job and came to her aunt's house to start all over again. With a smile, she adds that she is completely free now. The beauty wonders if the guy has ever done crazy things. At first, Matthew pretends that there were so many of them that he doesn't even remember, but soon admits that he doesn't have anything on that score. Danny replies that he just needs the right girl to inspire him to go crazy, and hands him a piece of paper with a girl drawn on it. Driving up to the house, Matthew wishes her a good night and leaves. The next day at school, Eli chides his friend for missing the chance and boasts that if he were in his place, he would easily chat with a girl. Matthew explains that the moment was inappropriate, but still admits that it was worth at least kissing her goodbye. Later, while sitting in class, the guy notices a neighbor and decides to skip classes for the first time. While the others are bored in class, he's having a great time in Danny's company. In the evening, the girl brings him to a house with a swimming pool where she jumps into the water. Matthew follows her example, crazy but exciting. Suddenly, it turns out that the house belongs to the principal of the school, Mr. Salinger. Seeing him, the guy panics, but Danny quickly calms him down, and they quietly run away to the car. Later, Matthew introduces the girl to his friends, and they are amazed at her beauty. In the evening, the company goes to a party where everyone pays attention to a spectacular stranger who came with nerds. The high school students try to approach her, but Matthew decides to act. He pushes his rival away from Danny right in front of everyone. The next day at school, Eli can't wait to show a friend the video. Before turning it on, he invites Matthew to sit down. The movie turns out to be starring Danny. After watching it, the guy's mood deteriorates dramatically, and he says he doesn't want to see her anymore. But Eli, on the contrary, advises to take the chance and chat with the star. In the evening, staying with Danny, Matthew behaves very differently. He is overcome by vulgar thoughts. Following a friend's advice, he buys a drink and takes the girl to a cheap hotel. Danny quickly realizes that the guy has found out about her past, and, slowly cleaning up, begins to communicate with him. After that, Matthew can no longer focus on his studies. Thoughts of his neighbor haunt him. There's very little time left for graduation, and the introductory speech is still not ready. One day he comes to Danny to apologize, but at home he finds her with a former producer who persuades her to return to the film industry. In sex education class, Matthew tells his friends about his problems, while the teacher shows an old, unwanted film about contraception. Carrie arrives at school at the end of classes. He sees that the guy is having a hard time and offers to take a ride to talk. On the way, Matthew needs to stop by the bank to submit documents for participation in the exchange program, and he introduces this person as his supervisor in order to avoid questions. Later, the guy finds out that Danny and the producer are going to Vegas for a film festival. He reminds her that she wanted to start a new life, but the girl replies that she has nothing more to do here and leaves. His friends are trying to support Matthew, but he's not going to give up. They go to Vegas for an adult film festival where the guy is looking for his neighbor and friends are looking with interest at what is happening around. Danny makes arrangements with his partners to shoot a new movie, but Matthew intervenes and says that she is much better than all this, after which he gives her the very drawing from their first date. The next day, they reconcile and return home together. Now, Matthew has a responsible day. A scholarship competition will be held in the evening. During the lesson, Kelly enters the classroom, takes the guy away, and forcibly pushes him into the car. He accuses Matthew of losing a large sum of money because of him after Danny broke the contract. After taking the guy out of town, he beats him up, then apologizes and gives him a pain pill. Then, the man offers him to redeem himself by committing theft. They drive up to another producer's mansion, and Kelly demands to steal the award for Best Film. With difficulty, Matthew manages to steal the statuette, but the man throws him. Later, the guy meets friends, and it becomes clear from his behavior that the pill was narcotic. The competition is already starting, and Matthew can barely control himself. The guys stop by Danny's place, and she helps him recover. At the ceremony, the guy attracts everyone's attention with his behavior. When it's his turn, he goes on stage, but the words blur before his eyes. He throws away the cards and begins to speak from the heart, not being shy of strong expressions. As a result, his speech turns into a declaration of love, and the audience applauds her. The next day, Matthew comes to the bank to withdraw money and pay for Sam Nang's flight, but he is informed that the account has already been closed. Everything was withdrawn by his supervisor yesterday. Now the guy urgently needs to get $25,000, otherwise there will be serious consequences. After consulting with Danny, they decide to make their own movie. The girl invites actresses she knows, and Matthew makes arrangements with the producer from whom he previously stole the statuette to distribute it. Friends decide to shoot right during the prom. Under the guise of a school magazine, they bring equipment to the ball and start filming scenes while the others dance. During the filming, the guys have a great time, and Matthew and Danny enjoy the moment. They finish shooting the film in a limo, and on the way home, they celebrate their success. The next day, Eli calls and informs me that the movie tape is missing. When Matthew gets home, he sees Kelly sitting at the table with the principal and his parents. The man threatens to turn on the tape if Matthew does not agree to his terms. The guy replies that he doesn't care anymore. Kelly turns on the TV, and it turns out that there's a sex education movie on the tape. It's a bit vulgar, but still much better than the old videos that are usually shown to teenagers. The idea turns out to be so successful that schools are starting to massively purchase a new educational film. This helps Matthew pay for his studies and bring a talented student to school. Friends are also successful, and now if they ask him what he will never forget, the guy knows exactly what to answer. Thank you for watching to the end. Write comments and put likes.